She had lived a long life. Once, her hands were strong and firm. They held the household together, raised her children, soothed pain, baked bread, and stroked the heads of grandchildren. Now they trembled, fragile and light, like dry branches. Her children brought her to a nursing home. They kept telling themselves, and her, that it would be better this way. There will be doctors, you won't be alone, you'll be taken care of. She did not argue. She only sat in silence, watching the road that led away from her old home. That first night, she did not sleep. The white walls of the room pressed down with emptiness. The smell of medicine reminded her of age and illness. She wept quietly into her pillow, trying not to wake her roommate. In her memory, she still heard the voices of her children, once small, calling her, laughing, clinging to her. But now, those voices lived only in dreams. The days stretched slowly, each the same as the last. She sat by the window, watching the courtyard where the wind carried fallen leaves in circles. At first, the other residents were strangers. Then one day, her roommate offered her a candy. Another old man, walking with a cane, told her a joke. For the first time in a long while, she smiled. Gradually, new connections formed around her. She helped those weaker than herself, gave the nurses old country recipes, shared memories of her youth. Others began to look up to her, as if she were a mother to them. She tried to believe it herself, that life could still hold meaning. But at night, when the corridors emptied and the last lamps were extinguished, sorrow returned. She would take into her hands a photograph of her family and gaze at the faces that had once been her whole world. She longed to see her old home again, the wooden porch, the apple tree in the garden, the familiar path. Her children visited, but it was not the same. She greeted them with smiles, accepted gifts, listened to her grandchildren's voices. Yet when they left, the silence in the room grew heavier. Into that silence she whispered, "I want to go home, just for one day." One rainy night, her heart finally gave way. She lay in bed, her breath weakening. And then, before her eyes, she saw the image of her old home. The door opened, and on the threshold stood her husband, young again, as he had been on their wedding day. Her parents were there too. Just beyond them, her little children were laughing, reaching out for her hands. She smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in many years, and stepped toward them. The next morning, the nurse found her lying peacefully, still holding the photograph. A quiet, serene smile rested on her face. It seemed she had finally found her way home.